Hi there, Drew here again from St. John's College Admissions, and this is your guide to the St. John's College application. In this video, we're going to go ahead and dive into those letters of recommendation. Now, as you might recall from our introduction video, there are not one, but two letters of recommendation that are required for the St. John's application. The first one is pretty straightforward. It's going to come from your guidance counselor, your college counselor, someone like that. And it probably is the same person who you requested your transcript from. So that one's pretty straightforward as to the who. What is usually going to be something along the lines of how you are more generally in your school's community. What roles have you taken on? Are you a mentor? Are you, a really active member of your community, and how that looks. We're also going to ask for one from one of your teachers. And this one's probably going to look a little bit more like, how are you in the classroom? What do you add? Are you really engaged in the classroom? Things like that. And the question of who to ask to write this letter of recommendation is a little bit trickier, right? It's not assigned to you like a counselor might be. So you get to pick which teacher you want. And this is a really hard thing to decide, right? Who are you going to ask? The advice that I would give is don't necessarily ask the teacher who you got all A's in all of their classes all the time. Because that might not be the teacher that knows you the best, right? Maybe you have another teacher who you sometimes get a B in their class, or sometimes you don't do as well as the rest of your classes, but you're passionate about that subject and you talk to the teacher after class or after school and you really engage with it, and the teacher really sees that you are really excited about their class. Because teachers like when students are interested in what they're teaching, right? And it shows, and it's very easy to tell. And so those recommendations might be a little bit more personal, a little bit more insightful and engaging than ones from a teacher who you maybe know and you've had a couple classes with and you've done really well in, but if they don't really know you as a student in an in-depth way, they might not be the best person to ask. I would also recommend that this teacher actually know who you are. It seems funny to mention, but I inevitably will read several recommendation letters that are the following sentence. I do not know this student. I think I had them in class last year. I'm so sorry. And that doesn't help you, right? If the teacher doesn't know who you are, then they're probably not going to write a good letter of recommendation. So this leads me to my last piece of advice. Make sure you ask the teacher before you have that email sent to them to request their recommendation letter. Because A, it's courteous to just let them know, hey, it's on its way. And also it helps you check to make sure that, they feel confident they can write one for you. Because if they really don't think they can write you a good letter of recommendation, they'll probably tell you that. Now, on top of these two required letters of recommendation, you can also submit other recommendation letters from a spiritual leader, or maybe you had a supervisor at a job, or just a personal reference. You can submit more on top of that. While I wouldn't suggest submitting 7 or 8 more, 1 or 2 is always nice. It gives us more information about you. And this entire application is us looking at information about you. So anything else that you think, or anyone else's perspective that you think helps, go for it. So in this video, we've talked a little bit about letters of recommendation, how many we need, who they're going to come from, how do we choose the best people to write them for us. And again, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to your admissions counselor. Their information is going to be in the link in the description below. But next time, we're going to go ahead and jump into the book essay, which is the St. John's specific essay required of all of our students. But until then, peace.